So, let me welcome everyone to Masterclass number 2. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to really get focused. We're going to try to get very, very focused on our vision. So it's not so much where we are today, but where we're going to go, or where we are going. And I want us to focus and get narrowly focused and get very, very specific on exactly what we want and why we want it. Okay? Now, these are two really important questions. What do we want? What is it? What outcome are we looking for this year so that we can absolutely live our best year? What does that outcome look like, and why is it that we want that outcome? See, because they have to go hand in hand, because I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to get tough out there. See, if your goals, your dreams, if your desires, if they're big enough and they're challenging enough, you're going to go through some challenges. You're going to go through some tough times. You're going to go through some times where you might even question the goal. And that is where, when we begin to question the possibility of our goal, the possibility of us obtaining maybe that status, maybe this is where you have to understand, when it gets difficult, when it becomes a challenge, when we begin to question ourselves, this is where all the reasons why you started and that you have the desire, all those reasons have to add up to something massive to keep you going when it gets tough. Now look, I don't want to just say these things today and you say, yeah, this makes sense. See, we need to apply. So what I want to focus on right now, and we did this in the Jumpstart part of Relentless Success Online Performance Academy, right? We worked hard at going through the assessment and then creating a vision statement for ourselves 3 to 5 years out. And that's great because it kind of keeps us on that track. It keeps us excited, and it should be exciting. That vision should be exciting. It should be what's getting you out of bed every day and propelling you into massive action because of your belief in this vision. But we have to create a vision for this year. And we have to create a vision statement, and we have to create a vision around the outcome that we desire. So what is that outcome? And guys, ladies and gentlemen, listen to me. I want you to get very, very specific for what you want to accomplish and the reasons why you want to accomplish those goals. And then I want us to create a vision statement just like we did in Jumpstart for 3 to 5 years. I now want us to create a very specific vision statement for what we're going to accomplish this year. And this vision statement, much like the one in Jumpstart, is I want you to write it as if you've accomplished these goals. So whatever they are. So if health and fitness is one of your goals, and I know I talk a lot about health and fitness because it's an easy parallel for people to understand. But so think about if health and fitness, so you'll be writing your statement. If it's one of your top goals or one of your focus goals or one of your top 3, 5, or 10 goals, whatever you have, then you should be writing in your vision statement that, I'm living a life in the best health and fitness. I'm in the best health and fitness I've ever been in. I'm in the best shape. I have more energy than I've ever had to live my life, to spend time with my family, to live out my goals and dreams. I want you to write it as if, okay? Now, as we develop this, and as we create this vision for this year, and I want you to think about what it is, and I want you to be clear. Look, the vision has to have incredible clarity around that vision statement. And then I want you to write out that statement, and this is something I want you to look at every single day. So when it gets tough, I want you to look at the vision statement. I want you to look at where you're going. I want you to look at what you want to accomplish. Because sometimes when it gets difficult, when it gets tough, when it gets challenging, this is the time where belief systems can start to attack us, where maybe fear is attacking us. And I'm going to talk about this here in a little bit, some of the roadblocks. But as the roadblocks, as they begin to add up, as they begin to stack one roadblock on top of another, it's like we have to remain excited and know what we want and why we want it. And we have to be very specific so that as we read this vision statement on a daily basis, as we write it out, as we read our goals on a daily basis, it's the energy that keeps us moving. I want to remind everyone something here. You ready? No one exceeds beyond their expectations, which is why we need to get crystal clear with our vision statement. Because I want you to know that we have to believe in what's possible for us. And as you put a pen to paper, it begins to bring on a life of its own. We begin to get excited about it. We begin to associate pleasure, excitement. We're associating things by putting a pen to paper. See, you won't put something down on paper. You won't create a vision that you don't believe in. So I want you to know that we will never exceed beyond our expectations, which is why this vision statement, these goals for this year, for you to live to have an incredible year, to live your best year ever, to crush these goals, you have to believe that they're possible for you. You have to have belief in that they're possible. Is it going to get challenging? Yes. Is it going to get tough? Yes. Are you going to have to develop the right mindset to overcome the challenges, the obstacles, the roadblocks? Of course. Which is why this program, in my opinion, is so important, because we're going to stay with you for a year and we're going to go through these challenges together. It's what makes the Academy what it is. It's the associations of like-minded people that have great expectation for their life. And I want you to have great expectation for your life. So as we create this statement, I need you to really sell out to that vision. I need you to sell out to that vision like never before. And that's yours. You own it. It's personal to you. And as you develop this vision and what you're going to accomplish this year, I want you to remember that clarity and being very specific is so important, because as we create clarity around our outcomes, as we create clarity at why we want the outcome, as we're clear, this clarity creates an incredible awareness around what we're focused on every moment of the day. And as we have a greater awareness and as we have more clarity around the outcome we want this year and all the reasons why, we just simply begin to make better choices towards those goals. And then the process over time will pay off into greater results, period. I also want you to think about deconstructing or reverse engineering your goals for the year. Okay, I want you to think about what it is we want as an outcome, why we want it, create a vision statement as if we're living it now. I want you to read it daily. You might even write it daily to give it power. Now, you can't just write it and read it. We got to do something about it, right? We got to create massive action towards that outcome. We have to, all the reasons why is that they're the jet fuel that keeps us in action all the time. But I want you to also track and measure where you are on a daily, on a weekly, on a monthly, on a quarterly basis. So I want you to take those goals that you believe in and the expectations for the outcome that you have, and I want you to reverse engineer those goals. I'm going to give you something to think about so that you understand. We're going to think about money. Now, I'm not the guy, by the way. I believe money is absolutely necessary. I want each and every one of you to make as much money as you expect. I want you to make as much money as you desire. I mean, there's people I know that are a part of this academy want to fly on jet airplanes again. I think it's awesome, right? But to me, success is fulfillment. It's about living a life on purpose. It's about living life on passion. It's about being fulfilled. It's about more than money, although money is very important. So in this example of reverse engineering your goals, I'm going to use money. I'm going to use $100,000. And I'm going to tell you something. I absolutely believe that each and every one of you, if you wanted to make an extra $100,000 this year, that's absolutely possible. If you wanted to make an extra $1 million this year, possible. If you told me, you said, Todd, I want to make $10 million this year, I'm going to tell you that is absolutely possible. But I want you to learn how to take a goal from the end, right? So as we create the vision statement, what we're saying is we're living this life. We're living it as if it's already been accomplished. We're writing it down as if it's been accomplished. Well, if it's been accomplished, then what I want to do is then backtrack to today. And I want to reverse engineer the entire goal. So let's say, hypothetically, that you wanted to make an extra, or you wanted to make $100,000 this year. So over a 12-month span, you want to make $100,000. Let's reverse engineer $100,000. Now, it might sound like right now, an extra $100,000 is like, maybe you don't believe. So we first have to believe. Okay? But what I want to do is I want to show you by reverse engineering to the day how simple $100,000 can be. Right now, $100,000, or if I said $1 million, 10 million, maybe that number, the size of the number, man, it seems so massive. I don't know if it's possible. But then you break $100,000 down to the quarter, and you say, well, there's 4 quarters in a year. So what does that mean? I mean, I have to make $25,000 in a quarter. And you might be thinking to yourself, wow, that's still, Todd, that's a lot. That's a big number. But then I say, well, that's only $8,333.33 a month. And you might say, Todd, man, I'm not making $8,333.33 a month today. That's okay. If this is a goal, if this is a desire, right? We got to know what we want, the outcome. We got to know why, because it has to be more than just making the money. It's what can we do with the money? What kind of pleasure can we attach to making the money? What does it look like for our life living with this extra money? And pretty soon, the how we're going to do it is going to start to add up. We're going to start to figure it out. We're going to create a strategy towards it. But then if you look at a week, if you get down to a week and you reverse engineer $100,000 down to just 1 week at a time, it's only now $1,923.07. Only $1,900 $923.07. That's in a week. But what's a day look like? So if I took $100,000, I divided by 365 days, how much money do I got to make in one day to make $100,000 this year? I got to make $273.97 in the United States of America. In this great country, I have to figure out a way. I have to create a strategy. I have to create a system. I can't hope it. I got to work it. I got to first have the vision of the possibility, right? I got to develop the vision around it. I got to know what my outcome is. It's $100,000. I got to know why I want to make $100,000. And then I'm going to reverse engineer my goal down to what I need to accomplish daily. And it's $273.97. And now when you look at that goal of making $100,000 and I break it down to the pebbles, right? I break it down to the pebbles. This is how we move a mountain. We don't move the whole mountain. I'm not going to make the $100,000 in a day. You could, but if that's my goal, but making $273.97, now I got to build the strategy around it. Now here's the warning, guys. Here's the warning. You might be looking at your year right now going, Todd, I want to make $100,000. I want to make an extra $100,000, or I want to make whatever X amount of dollars, or whatever the goal is. But I'm not there yet. And we've already had 20, 25 days in the year, and I'm already behind. This is where I want you to say, this is where I want you to understand, that's okay. See, here's what I want you to know. I want you to keep fighting daily. You see, I want you to keep fighting. I want you to continue to compete against yourself on a daily basis. And I want you to compete against yourself, not other people, not what's going on social media, not what's going on maybe from a competitor. I want you to compete against yourself and in this goal to the day. And when it's tough and when there's challenges, I want you to know that's okay, because once you get to a point where you make $273.97 even one time, it'll begin to build momentum. You'll start to understand how you did it. You will learn from all of the lessons, from all the falls, from all the challenges, and then you'll finally have a day where it's like, man, I made $300 today, and this is what we need to then study, reflect on, and now do it daily, and it'll build momentum, and pretty soon it won't be 273. Pretty soon it'll be 300, 350. You'll have days where you make 400. That's if you don't give up on this. So if I applied weight loss to it, and I wanted to lose 12 pounds, I wanted to lose a pound a month, and I went for and I broke it down to the day, or maybe it broke down to 1 pound a day, right? But yet, and I get to the end of the day and I'm like, man, I didn't lose a pound today. Here's what I'm going to tell you. You got to stay focused on the process. You got to believe that it's possible. You got to understand your vision. You got to understand your outcome, why you want to do it. You got to take massive action towards it on a daily basis. And then you're going to get on the scale one day and you're going to be like, wow, I haven't lost 1 pound. I've lost 2. And then it'll begin to build momentum because of the daily grind, because of the process. So when you reverse engineer your goal to the day, I don't want the day, a single day, to knock you off or out of your goal, or to basically challenge the mindset of possibility. Because things, as you start to achieve, as things start to happen, they'll begin to build momentum. And the more momentum, right, the more action, the more results. Your results will start to double, triple, quadruple, 10 times those results. And then you'll look back, and then guess what'll happen? You'll get to the end of the year and you're going to be like, I didn't just hit the goal. I crushed the goal. But you have to stay with it on a daily basis. And I told you before we got started, look, so far this year, my goals, my dreams, my aspirations, the things that I want to accomplish, they're under attack, but not by me. They're under attack, but not by my mindset. They're under attack, but not by my opinion. See, they're under attack, but not my belief system. They're under attack, but not by the action I'm taking. But I also know that in order to strive and to achieve greatness, you're going to have to go through some difficult times and challenges. And this is where we develop the mindset to continue to take action towards that outcome. Why? Because you have your why, because you have all the reasons why you want that outcome, and those reasons why keep you going even when it gets difficult. There's some roadblocks that are going to get in the way. Even if we got the most perfect vision on paper, and even if it, and your vision is around your focus goal for this year, or around your handful of goals, what you want to accomplish, and it's like, I want to make an extra $100,000. You could say, as I'm writing the statement, look, I'm making hundreds of thousands of dollars of discretionary income. Currently, I'm in the best shape of my life. I've never had a stronger or better relationship than with my spouse. We're traveling. I want you to create vision for where you want to go. Now look, where you are today doesn't matter. It doesn't matter as long as you can attach yourself to where you're going. See, our current circumstances, our current situation, and where we are today, it no longer matters as long as my belief system has bought into a vision of what I want an outcome to be for yourself this year. And I'm going to buy into that outcome. I'm going to buy into that vision. I'm going to be excited about it. I have a belief system that says it's possible, because remember, no one succeeds beyond their expectations. See, if your goal is to make $100,000 a year, I want you to expect it. I want you to expect that outcome. Now, there are going to be some roadblocks that are going to get in the way of the expectations. There's going to be some roadblocks that are going to get in the way of your vision statement that you're going to have for just this year. There's going to be some roadblocks that are going to get and challenge your daily routine. There's going to be some roadblocks that are going to challenge you taking massive action. What are some of those roadblocks? Well, I've talked a lot about, and if you've been on any of my trainings over the past 30 days, I have been very, very focused on fear and what fear does to people. Fear can paralyze people. It can paralyze dreams. Fear can paralyze your outcome for this year. Fear can paralyze your outcome for this year if you allow fear to paralyze you. I want you to look at fear, and I want it to become your best friend, because wherever there's fear, wherever in your mind, right, this whole analysis around fear that's where I need you to go. That's where I need you to take action towards, because that's where your greatest growth lies, is in the middle of that storm called fear. That's where you're going to perform at levels you don't even believe are possible for you today. And I've done a lot of trainings on this. Matter of fact, I did a Facebook Live on this. That video has now been edited. It's now on my YouTube channel. It's going to go into the coaching vault, because it's so important, because fear is where your greatest growth lies. And without it, And without that uncomfortable feeling, we can never perform at our best. We're never going to get the best, which means we will always, that means without fear, without the challenge, without the obstacles, right? We will never perform close to our human potential. Now, what else is a roadblock besides fear? Comfort. See, comfort, I call the silent killer. It's the silent killer to progression. See, because when we're comfortable, right, it's like we don't have to get out of bed and chase those dreams. We don't have to get out 1 hour earlier. We don't have to go to bed 1 hour later. See, we don't have to have any sacrifices. See, because we might make a sacrifice today because it's like, hey, I took this academy and I Relentless Success Online Performance Academy because it sounded good and I would like to perform better results and I'd like to have more and I would like to, but man, I don't know. I don't want to give up my weekend. I don't know. I don't want to get up an hour earlier, and pretty soon you don't want to make the sacrifices. And why? Because you don't, maybe you don't have to, because we're comfortable. We're comfortable where we're at. I'm going to tell you what comfort leads to: mediocrity. I'm going to tell you what else comfort leads to: never chasing or pursuing your human potential. That's what happens when people get comfortable. They stop growing. They stop developing. They stop progressing. They stop going through brutal challenges. They stop growing their mind because they're not challenged to grow their mind. Because let's face it, when it gets tough, what's being developed? Our mindset is being developed if we do not quit and we keep progressing forward, if we continue to take the steps. So comfort. If you're comfortable today, and you don't have to get up and go through the daily grind, that comfort is a silent killer. And here's what I would tell you that is dangerous. And here's why it's dangerous. Because what happens in the future if that comfort is challenged? And now you got to react. And now you're in 911 mode. Now it's an emergency. Because, man, my comfort has been taken away from me. Because maybe, I have enough money to get by, but all of a sudden, maybe the money is challenged. Maybe an economy challenges the money that you're currently making that is making you comfortable. Now what? Now that just getting by is like, uh-oh, I'm in trouble. 911, right? Because here's what I want you to know. It's that midnight hour. It's that time frame. It's that time where we're all challenged. And I'm going to tell you, for all of the people that are comfortable, you're going to face that midnight hour. You're going to face that time where it's difficult. And then what? Then what? Now I'm going to act because I'm no longer comfortable. And now I don't have a process. I don't have a mindset. I don't have the development. I don't have the belief system. I don't have the goal. I don't have the dream. I don't have the vision statement. And you go into 911 mode. We see this happen over and over and over. So here's what I want to tell you guys. If you're comfortable, I need you to challenge that comfort level. What else can get in our way? Our own belief system. Our own mindset. That can be challenged. I talked earlier about this has been difficult. That my goals, my dreams, my desires, my systems, my strategies, my time, it's all been challenged. But as it's being challenged, right, you either grow or die. You either continue to develop, you continue to change, you look for better ways. Why? Because I have so much excitement, and I want you to have so much excitement for your vision. I have so much excitement for my vision that I don't care. Roadblocks, challenges, tough days, the daily grind, all of those things. I said to my beautiful wife the other day, I said, man, it has been tough out there. I said, but I love it. And she looked at me kind of like, are you sure? And I said, yeah, I'm sure. I'm 100% certain. And the reason I'm 100% certain, because I know when I come out of this, it's going to, all of this difficult, these challenges, these times, the things, the opinions, the belief system, everything is being challenged. I'm not hitting my daily numbers for where I want to get. Because it's all being challenged, I know that when I come out of this, we're going to higher levels. I'm going to be a little bit further up that mountain. See, because I know that that the challenge, the difficult time, the struggle is preparation for greatness. And without it, without the struggle, where we find ourselves being comfortable, we're not growing. We're not going through the struggle. We don't have to go through the struggle. And what happens? We never get a chance to meet the inner champion that lives inside of you. You never even meet the champion you were born to be. Wow. Well, what else can get in the way? What other roadblock besides fear, besides comfort, besides our belief and the possibility for ourselves is just the daily grind itself? And I've been talking about the daily grind, and it's like my short-term results, I don't have any. They're not good, my short-term results. But my process is getting better. My mindset is getting stronger. My process is getting better. I'm challenging my strategy daily. What could I do better? What should I do more of? What should I do less of? See, I don't want you to fall in love with the daily results. I want you to fall in love with the daily process. And I want you to challenge the process daily by simply asking yourself at the end of every day, just like I have asked myself at the end of every difficult day, what do I need to do more of? What do I need to do less of? What do I need to learn? What do I need to learn? And then I get to go back and get centered again around what? My vision, not where I'm at. Not to be exhausted or frustrated or depressed about where I am today, because it doesn't matter where we are today if we absolutely know where we're going. And if we're willing to take massive action towards that outcome with all the reasons why, being willing to learn and progress as we go. Time can be a roadblock. How many of us are using time as a roadblock? I want to make an extra 100,000. I want to get in great shape. I want to reconnect with family. I want to reconnect with friends. I want to get plugged back into whatever spiritual realm that you follow. But I just don't have the time. That can be a roadblock. And when you believe you don't have the time, you'll prove that that is absolutely true. But I'm going to tell you, that's a lie. See, but when time can get in the way, where you feel like you're trapped by your schedule, by maybe your responsibilities as an adult, maybe you're maybe because of a spouse, a sibling, a child, their schedules, and maybe you're finding yourself living on everyone else's calendar, but you're not living on your calendar, and time becomes the issue, and it becomes your escape. I just don't have the time. Let me tell you, that's the time where maybe you got to get up an hour earlier. Maybe you got to go to bed an hour later, or maybe you got to learn the time blocking strategy. And this is a tip and a tool I want to input in for you right now. Look, if time is your issue, time is your problem, and you say, Todd, I want to achieve this, but I just don't know if I have the time. Let me give you a tip or a tool. I want you to time block. I want you to take this focus goal. I want you to take the most important piece of your vision statement, the most important outcome that you want to have for your life this year. And I want you to put the necessary behaviors, the necessary actions, the necessary skills on your calendar. And I want you to time block 60 to 90 minutes a day. And I want you to become non-negotiable with those actions. I want you to become non-negotiable. And I would tell you a hint would be the earlier in the day that you can time block those activities, the better it's going to be, because we already know life is going to get in the way. We already know this. Associations can be a roadblock. Associations. The people you're hanging around. The people, the mindsets that you're hanging around. The opinions of that group. And they can be a roadblock. They can tell you it's not worth the pain. They can tell you, that's for the other people, but, that kind of success, I don't, what background do you have for that success? Whatever it is, the opinions of other people, the associations, the people we're hanging around. Now, look, a lot of people have said, well, Todd, my family's negative towards my goals. So does that mean you should get rid of your family? No. It doesn't mean you should get rid of your family. It just means you need to spend as much time as possible around like-minded people so that you can overcome. So that you can overcome some of those negative beliefs and some of that negative belief system that's trying to pour into you. You just need to go hang around. You need to be around, people that are living the goals and dreams that you want for your life. You need to listen more to them. You need to understand how they think, how they act, what kind of strategies do they have, which is why the associations inside this academy are so important. But I want you to know that your associations can be a roadblock. So we have a number of things that can get in the way of you living your best year. Fear, comfort, belief, the grind, results, time, associations. You have to be prepared that those things exist out in that world. They exist. They're there. I'm challenging you and I'm urging you not to buy into those roadblocks. And I'm going to tell you, I heard from one of my mentors, and when he talked about outcomes and goals and dreams and desires and the things we want for our life, what if you attach 2 words to your outcome today? Pain, pleasure. Pain, pleasure. What do we know? We know everyone wants to try to do everything they can to stay away from pain. And people gravitate towards what? They gravitate towards pleasure, right? But I want you to think about the outcome that you want to have for your life this year. What kind of pain is associated around you not achieving that outcome? I want you to know something. That can be a massive internal driver for you to take more action. Just the thought and the mindset of you not being able to achieve that outcome. What kind of action does that put you in? See, and I also want you to think about you achieving that outcome. What kind of pleasure? What is it like? What's life like? And this is where the vision statement, I want it to be more than words on paper. I want you to emotionally feel yourself achieving that outcome this year and then living that life. So if you can attach those 2 words to your outcomes, to your whys, to your actions, watch what happens. It's pretty crazy. Remember something's very, very important here, guys. No one exceeds beyond their expectations. I want us as a group to expect the outcome we desire. That it doesn't matter what's going to get in your way. It doesn't matter the challenges. It doesn't matter the associations. It doesn't matter, belief systems out there. I want you to attack fear. I want to make it your best friend. I want you to 100%, I want you to expect the outcome you desire. And I want you to remember your current conditions today. Your current conditions today are not your human potential. They are not. I want you to fall in love. I want you to fall in love with your vision. I want you to fall in love with this outcome that you desire. And I want you to remember something. And I got this from my coach. And he quoted someone else. And I'm like, it makes me smile. Are you ready? Everything, in the end, everything will be okay in the end. Everything will be okay in the end. And if it's not, then it's not the end. I want you to remember this. Everything will be okay in the end. And if it's not okay now, it just means it's not the end. And those words were spoken by the great John Lennon. Look, guys, I hope in this masterclass, I hope we can get really, really specific with our outcomes. I hope we can build a vision around what we really want this year and why we want those outcomes. And then I want you to continue to take massive action and don't fall in love with the daily result. Fall in love with the daily process. And I want you to learn from it. I want you to change where you have to change. I just don't ever want anyone, right, to give up, to quit, to take that option. Because I want you guys to know that it's like your dreams, and maybe it's a new dream. Maybe it's a new dream that you have today. But if you can think it, or the desire is within you, that's real. And that dream was placed in your heart, or that thought was placed in your mind for a reason. The goodness in that was placed for you to go validate that outcome for your life. And I want you to remember this, is that it's not just you. There are people watching. There are people watching this group very, very closely. There are people who are plugged into this academy. Let me tell you, there's a challenge out there. The challenge is people are watching us. They want to know what kind of mindsets. They want to know what's our attitude like. They want to know what kind of goals are we striving for. Look, here's what I would tell you. As you begin to break through, if your outcome, if your goals, if your desires are big enough, I want you to know there's going to be people rooting for you to fail. But there are also people just watching you very closely. They're watching the way you talk. They want to know how you think. They want to know what kind of action are you taking. See, and you have an opportunity to become that change that others follow. So I want you to know we have an obligation. We have an obligation. This group has an obligation to not only strive for the outcome, right? But to absolutely get that outcome, to acquire that outcome, to achieve those results. And I want you to know that I don't care how big they are, it's possible for each and every one of you. Look, guys, I want to take a moment, as we always do in the close, and if you have questions, maybe you have some questions. Maybe, I don't know, maybe there's some things going on that you're having a tough time. Maybe you're like me. Maybe it's so far it's been brutal. That's okay. Where are you at, right? And what questions might you have? Stephanie says, I can totally feel both achieving and the failing of reaching and not reaching my goals. Yeah, I can totally feel both. Listen, Stephanie, so important. That emotional attachment to what we're after, right? And when it's so strong, it doesn't matter what gets in our way. when we want that outcome so bad, and we have all those reasons why, and we can emotionally feel. I remember when I wanted to follow in my father's footsteps, I wanted to be a Major League Baseball player so bad, right? That I just kept going and going and going until I achieved those results. But I want you to emotionally feel that pain and pleasure that's associated. Sean Burke says, I needed to say a kick in the butt. Sean, I want you to know something, man. You know, and Sean, you're an incredible human being. You're a first responder. You're an incredible spouse to your wife, an incredible father. I want you to know, Sean, you have greatness inside of you. You have greatness inside of you. I want you to knock down the walls of comfort. And I know you're doing well, but I want you to do great. I don't want you to do just to do well. See, Sean, you have greatness inside of you, my friend. You have greatness. And I want you to discover that greatness. Oh, man. Joan, thank you for reminding us being real and the garbage dump is part of the journey. Appreciate you. Thank you, Joan. And yeah, it's gonna look. This year is gonna look when we come together like we've come together on this. When we've locked arms the way we've locked arms, I want you to know there's going to be some falling. There's going to be some failing. There's going to be some trials. They're going to be there. But I also want this group to know we are all together to support one another to discover and to acquire the outcome that we desire, right? So, vision without action is just a dream. Absolutely. We got to get in massive action. We got to take massive action. We got to take massive action, guys. Nothing works until you work. Nothing works until you do the work. Do we have any questions, guys? Are there some pain points? Stacy, absolutely. No, process. Stay focused on process. Challenge the process. Guys, I want you to not only stay focused on your process, I want you to challenge everything you do every single day. I want you to challenge it. I want you to audit it at the end of the day. This is the day, you can come to the close of your day. I've talked about morning routines and about, your personal development, your journal, your reflection. You should be learning. You should be active. It's a part of your morning routine. At the end of the day, it's reflection time. And in your reflection time, I want you to challenge your process every day. I want you to ask yourself, what is there to learn? What should I do more of? What should I do less of? And as we do this on a daily basis, what should I do more of? What should I do less of? And as we go through this, I want you to challenge and audit your process daily and be willing and accept that, hey, you might have to make a right turn where you thought you were supposed to make a left turn. And you're going to have to trial and error. You're going to be out there. You're going to be leading from the front. We're going to be getting this thing done. Damon Egan says, routine and process are the cornerstone of a successful life. You have to follow them every day. Routines, rituals, habits. The most successful people in the world, they just have better habits. They have more discipline in those habits. They're rituals, they're routines. So go find somebody in your community. Go find somebody that is living the life and watch their rituals, watch their routines, learn from them. Sean Burke says, just a side note, great interview you did with Robin Sharma. Thanks. That wasn't, by the way, guys, think about this. I've been studying Robin Sharma. I'd been studying him for 7 years. And I was like, man, I wanted to meet him so bad. I willed that into my life like no other, man. And then it was a huge day for me to be invited to his Personal Mastery Academy as a guest. And then he interviewed me on his stage. Here was a guy that had been coaching and mentoring me, and he didn't even know it. And it was like, and I just, I had this will that I wanted to meet this guy. I wanted to hear from this guy. I wanted to learn from this guy. And now we have become friends. So who is it that you want to meet? Put that in your vision statement. And then find out who knows that person and how can you get to them. And what I'm telling you, this whole world is full of so much possibility for all of us. Guys, the next masterclass next month is going to be on focus. I'm going to dive deep. I'm going to talk about in focus in the next masterclass. We're going to discuss focus, but I'm going to talk about getting into character, where it's like nothing can interrupt that massive intensity of focus on the task at hand. It's going to be unbelievable. I'm looking forward to it, but I need you guys' help here. Here's the help I need from you. I need you guys to think about what do you want one of these think about and put in the comments or the notes, and I want you to think about, what do you want us to cover in the master class? And because look, if it's something that you want covered, or something maybe that you're either struggling with, or you're having a tough time with, or maybe you're having great success with, and you just want the whole group to know about it, look, tell me in the notes, and over time here, guys, I want you guys to tell me what you want covered in these master classes, and then we're going to build some training around those, and I'll make sure we deliver those to you. All right. So guys, it's been so much fun. Let's not forget, we have our private Facebook group. I want us to continue to use that private Facebook group to talk about, if you're having a challenge, put it out there. There might be somebody in the group that has overcome that challenge in the past, and use the group as resources. And let's be very, very positive, and let's remember that this private Facebook group is special for all of us to be associated in this group together, and not just cheer people on, but like I say, if you're having a difficult time somewhere with something, or you're having a hard time overcoming something, have the courage to throw it out there. And maybe you're having a hard time with someone else's opinion, maybe it's bothering you, and put it out there. And because the teacher is the participants. We're all here. The associations that we've created is our movement. All right. And so don't be afraid to use them. Let's stay active in the group. And even though the master class is only going to be once a month, it's like, look, there's nothing wrong with in between. If I might come on live, or I might make some comments, or you might, and let's inspire each other. Let's lift each other up, and let's make this year. Let's dominate this year. And you guys have heard me talk about crushing the day. I want us as a Relentless Success online academy, high performance academy community. I want us to crush this year. I want us to create some massive results. So look, God bless all of you. Thanks for joining me on this live masterclass today. I look forward to seeing each and every one of you, or talking with you, or going through this, having conversations in our private group. But keep moving forward. And oh, by the way, Mr. Sean Fuller is in the group. He just said, great group here. Sean, we got a great group. And Sean Fuller is, and I just spent some time with him. He flew from Toronto here to Phoenix. And I got to tell you guys, this guy he's on time, man. And he's running Canada-wide sports for the Canadians that are in the group. He distributes sporting goods equipment to all of the retailers, and has built a company from the ground up, and bought a minor league baseball team a year ago, threw out the first pitch to a Blue Jay game. He is so focused and dialed in, and he is a great asset in this group, like each and every one of you. So we got a great group. We got like minds. we got achievers in this group, and I'm excited that we're going to continue to move forward. So God bless you all. Thanks for joining me in this masterclass, and I'll be talking to you all very, very soon.